Peace, family. Peace, 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 peace. All right, so if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Dina Bryant. I do these inspirational videos just talking about life, okay? Talking about manifesting, the laws of the universe, subconscious mind, paradigm, belief systems, and all those things like that, okay? And so today's video, I wanted to talk about self-love, okay? And so I went on, honey, you know this is real, okay? This is real, okay? Because not have I once, okay, used to take notes before, right? I mean, like while I'm doing videos. And I'm taking notes now. So, honey, this is the new, improved Dina, okay? This is the Dina that is like millionaire status, okay? This is the Dina that is like, serious about the content. Okay, now I've always been serious, but honey, this is just another notch of seriousness. Okay, so self-love, Google definition is self-love means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. Honey, let's talk about this. Okay, so ever since I was a little bitty, okay, this picture right here, honey, this is the only picture I have of myself when I was younger, okay? So if you keep seeing this picture, honey, that's because this is the only picture I have when I was a little bitty, okay? All right? And so, get into it. I never seen demonstrated somebody making sure that they was good before others, right? Oftentimes I would see people are trying to pour from an empty cup, right? And so growing up, going back down memory lane. All right, so growing up, I remember I told you guys in my previous video how depression caused me to change my self-image. So in that video, which I'm going to leave it in the description down at the bottom. In that video, I talked about how I was, honey, dolled up like this, honey, and like this. Okay, I was dolled. You couldn't tell me nothing. But it's so funny because although I was dolled up like this, I did not love myself. And when I say I didn't love myself, I didn't even know what self-love meant. I remember this one particular time I was in transitional housing for me and my 2 children. And it was because I didn't have no place to go. And so I went to this program and you stay there for 18 months and they help you get Section 8, the Section 8 voucher once you complete the program. So the program was for 16 months. And I remember it was this, so it was ran by sisters, by nuns, okay? And I remember going into this one sister office, and me and her, I loved Sister Maureen. Her name was Sister Maureen. And I remember going in her office, and this one particular day, me and her was talking. She would always have me pull, you know, it would be like little angel things that would be placed into like this little box or so. And she would always have me pull the angel out. Like it was sort of like she was my therapist in a sense. Okay, she was a retired nurse. And she would have me pull an angel out and read what the angel said for the day. And even back then, honey, I guess it was synchronicity. Okay, universe was speaking loud and clear. Okay, and I remember this one particular day, I just got off the phone with a family member, and one of the things she said was, Dina, why don't you be selfish? Honey, we gonna drink to that. And I said selfish. Like immediately I just was like, that was like a negative word. And I was like, selfish. And she was like, yeah, why don't you be selfish? And she was like, no, not selfish. you know, in that type of way. But selfish, like, why don't you put yourself first? And no one ever told me that. No one ever said that. And she started explaining, what selfish meant. And after I left her office, honey, I went back to putting people before me, okay? Because what we have to realize is the programming that we've been programmed to do is we learn through repetition, right? We learn through not so much what our parents say, but more so what they do, right? And so I would put people before me. I felt obligated, right? Even sometimes when I went to, certain stores and I seen somebody and maybe I didn't want to interact that day. Maybe I just wanted to be incognito. I just didn't want to talk. But I felt like I was obligated to speak. I felt like I had to speak, right? Because I felt like they'd be like, oh, she acting funny or all these different things. So I felt I would push myself to speak and push myself to have a conversation, although the conversation probably was, very shallow, right? And so how did I discover and get on a journey of self-love? Okay. So it was me going through experiencing anxiety, depression. That's what really led me to self-love, right? Because I was burnt out. When you start, or when you put everybody before you, you are going to be burnt out. You're going to have so much resentment. You're going to feel that people are obligated to do certain things for you because you put their needs first when you should have put yourself first. And a lot of times, like, we often feel resentment because we are, I'm going to give you guys a prime example. I remember when I went to go see a shaman, right? And this shaman, he had told this lady who was in the audience, she was like, I feel like I love everybody. And, I put myself in. And the shaman immediately interrupted her and said, no, I'm going to tell you exactly what you do. What you do is you like the lady who go to a well and fetch water. You go put the water all in a bucket, and the water is for you for soup. And everybody come around you, they see you have water in this village, and you just pour in all your water that is for your soup, honey, for your supper. You just pouring it all into everybody else's bowls or cups or whatever it is like that. And he was like, you're not loving yourself. And I was like, wow, right? So the idea, so me getting back into this self-love journey is an ongoing thing. Because I see even with my children, with my youngest children, it's times where it's though, like they go to their father's house from Thursday to Monday. And it's times like maybe they want to stay the weekend with me. And I know damn well I need me time. I know that I need to, self-reflect more with myself. I need to probably meditate more. I need to, do more things for me in order for me to be the best version of myself. But what would I do? What I do, right? One of the things that I do is I say, all right, you guys could stay this weekend. And honey, my youngest children stay the weekend. By Tuesday, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, right? Because I didn't take the time out that I needed for myself. And it's not their fault. So what I tell them is I need time for myself, right? I really need time for myself. Then you start feeling resentment, right? Like I should have did this. And one of the things, and this is so important, that we be aware of the patterns that we do. So one of the things that I do when my children ask me if they could stay the weekend at my house as opposed to going to their father's house some weekends, I remember and I reflect back, I start thinking I never want my children to feel like I abandoned them, right? Because I experienced that in my upbringing. So it's something me like working myself through that, but also remembering, Dina, you can't be the best version of yourself if you're not putting yourself first, right? Also, what you have to remember, some people gonna get upset. They are going to get upset with you, honey, because why? Because you always put them first. You always made sure their needs were met, and you always put yourself on the back burner. And so when you start loving yourself, when you start taking the time out for yourself, right? People gonna feel, they're gonna start looking at you a certain type of way and have some type of resentment because you always did this for them. So what gives you the right to start, loving yourself now, so to speak, right? So they're going to start feeling some type of way. But honey, you still do it anyway, okay? You still do it. My most important things is boundaries. Boundaries, okay? Because there's no way you could love yourself if you don't have boundaries. Now, I know the boundaries, probably no one ever taught you, like nobody ever taught me to have boundaries, and that's why I will allow people to run amok over my damn life, right? But once I started having boundaries and started saying, nope, we will not do this, nope, we will not do that, I am not doing that, nope, 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 right? People still feel entitled. But you have to let them know, look, from this day on, I know before I used to take you shopping all the time, but if I don't feel like doing it, you just gonna have to understand I don't feel like doing it, okay? And they may get all in their feelings. Maybe one day they call you, they like, girl, I need to go shopping. You like, girl, I don't feel like doing it. And then they may, start an argument or whatever it is like that. But the boundaries is there so you can show people how to play a role in your life, okay? There's no reason why you should just outburn yourself. And who's going to make sure you good? Okay, who's going to make sure you good? Like my two oldest children, right? I did so much for them when they was children. And it's times that I even sacrifice myself to make sure they good. And when they grow up, it's like nobody told you to sacrifice yourself, right? If you would have made sure yourself you was good, then we would have been good, right? They don't verbally say that, but that's the energy that they give off, okay? So how to start loving yourself. One of the things that I do, meditate. I say this all the time, meditate. There's no way you could love yourself or, understand what it feels like being by yourself if you one of those people that says, I could never be by myself. Honey, so how do you get to know thyself if you could never? Okay, that's one, meditation. 2, affirm yourself. Now, I know I said this before, but this is like my daily. Affirm yourself. When you walk in, tell yourself how amazing you're doing, how beautiful you are, how brilliant you are, how loving, how kind you are, right? Tell yourself those things that you want others to tell you. Instead of looking for outside validation, you validate who you are. Because your words are more important than anybody outside your existence, okay? Meditation, affirm yourself. Boundaries is a must, honey. Boundaries is a must. You have to have boundaries. Because if you don't, people going to run amok over your damn life. And they're going to feel very entitled because that's what you have allowed. Okay? Oftentimes, a lot of times we allow, or we want to be nice, which nice is derived from that and it actually means foolish. A lot of times you want to be nice because you don't want people to be upset with you, right? And it all ties into your upbringing, right? So you want to do everything for people so they could be there for you, so they could accept you, so they could love you. When in all actuality, if you love yourself, if you accept yourself, those are the type of people that you are going to meet, okay? See, for a long time, I wanted to meet real people, but I was being so fake. Okay? So, with that being said, I hope you guys got something from this video. Make sure, if you're feeling this energy, honey, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, honey. You could have been anywhere else. You did not have to watch this video. You could have been anywhere else. But I truly, truly appreciate